Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Thomas. Tonight we're back here with Just Bad Games. Tonight we got Phix the Adventure. So, yeah. This is a thing. It's been a while since I've seen this episode, to be honest. So, I'll be real. Never heard of this game. So, how about we just hop in and learn more about Phix? Well, Phix. So, be sure to subscribe for more. Hope you enjoy. Let's go.
Phix the Adventure is a video game developed by Affect. It saw a North American release exclusive to the original PlayStation in 2003.
2003?
Really?
Whoa!
Huh.
Wasn't the PlayStation 1 a bit long in tooth? I mean, the PlayStation 2 had already been out for what? Over 2 years at that point?
You're right. And though the game saw a 2000 release in Japan, its late North American debut made Phix the Adventure one of the last 3D platformers to grace the PS1.
A 3D platformer? So Phix not only had a late check-in with the console, but to an entire genre brimming with finely crafted games?
We're talking Crash Bandicoot,
Spyro the Dragon,
Ape Escape,
Jumping Flash,
Croc?
Sure, why not? Players were already steeped in tons of collectathon experiences. With so many great platformers already released to the system, we'll assume that the game's publishers saw something special in Phix the Adventure, something that begged to be shared with a wider audience.
And we wish we could confirm that, or that we could say anything else about the game's creation, but actually, as of this recording, we can find next to nothing about this title's development or release.
Ooh, mysterious. All the more reason to get right into it. What do we got?
Well, looking at the cover, I can guess this critter is probably Phix. What I can't begin to imagine is what kind of creature he is supposed to be. Is it a cat? A fox?
Damn it.
Some back alley science experiment with arcade sticks gouged in its skull?
Don't worry. I think it's safe to say that if our pal Phix here has traditional eyeballs, there's not much going on in the old gray matter department anyway.
They call me Phix. I'm so very broken. Yikes! The back of the case describes the game as a magnetically charged adventure. An action-adventure game for the whole family.
Magnet fun for family? That doesn't get your pulse tingling. I don't know what does.
Sounds like we're amped to positively charge the attract mode and venture north with Phix the Adventure.
Puns are fun.
The game opens.
To be fair, yeah. And also, wait, is that true? There's no Wikipedia page? Hang on, I gotta see. Hold on. There we go. Oh, here's the fun. Let's see, Phix. Oh, nope. Wow. Wow. Actually, still isn't one. Wonder why. I guess this one went past everyone's radar to the point that no one's ever checked this game out. How? I guess no one really cared. Just gone from people's memories. So, is it that bad that everyone's just forgot about it? Well, as I say, let's just get amped and see if it's true that Phix the Adventure is that forgettable.
With a dramatic CG cutscene in which we're given a conflicting game title.
Phix in the Magnetic World?
For those wondering, Phix in the Magnetic World was the English title on the Japanese release.
We see a large purple ball inside some weird hovering Mount Olympus-like structure.
Cue! Lightning strikes, nudging the orb off its pedestal. It swoops down through the clouds at Mach speed.
Cut to Phix, our hero, who's doing what we'd all rather be doing right now, lying dead under a tree.
Man, not even in the Japanese release.
He's just sleeping.
You know what's not sleeping? A metric ton of purple pain tearing through the atmosphere.
Phix wakes up.
Twice?
And bam, he accidentally inhales the purple meteor that was, only moments ago, violently rocketing down from above.
Wait, wasn't the orb the size of a bowling ball a second ago?
Shh, don't get hung up on the details. If they were going for accuracy, that orb's descent would have ended differently.
Right, well, Phix seems uninjured and fine with these bizarre events, but the orb he swallowed is having an effect on the world around him. A bunch of soda cans zap to life and make a beeline for him.
Look, it's Phix! Absolutely smothered in garbage.
Suddenly, our stinky tetanus-filled pal gets a holographic message from beyond.
Phix, I am a cleric from Magnetically.
A slimy, green, sphincter-lipped cleric.
You just swallowed something called Magnetstone. It is the most important object in our world.
That purple orb? The most important object in the world? It was on a flat surface in an open structure floating on an island in the sky. Could have cared for it better. A passing duck's fart could have knocked it loose.
Greeny Pooter Lips goes on to say that Phix is in big trouble. But not to worry, he can help.
Would you come over to the temple? Then I can remove it from your body.
Beep, cleric.
Right, our hero, the magnetized wad of soiled bubblegum, is raring to go.
And so are we. Onto the title screen where we press start to discover that we've got a few options to choose from. Story mode, stage select, and training mode.
With this title being described as an action-adventure game for the whole family, we can probably skip the training and dip right into story mode and learn as we play. Story mode, stage 1.
Oh, what the? You let it through. It's for me. Oopsie. Hey. Training mode? Is this even like...
Training mode, stage 1. Okay, so what's going on in this game? What's with all the strange movement?
Why does Phix walk like he's body packing illicits through security?
No. Why are we being pushed and pulled around by colored shield things?
According to this, those are magnetic fields. Phix can interact with them by switching magnetic polarities with the R1 or triangle button.
Okay, so a north polarity is red or N, a south polarity is blue or S.
That's right. Phix can become attracted towards or repelled from them. See, we can even switch polarities while in magnetic fields to boost our jump.
A game that is constantly pushing and pulling you around sounds real fun.
To prevent that from happening, you can also neutralize your charge so that you're neither attracted or repelled.
Sweet!
But only for a short time. As long as you have juice in your magnetic charge meter. If you're out of energy, you're always sporting a north or south polarity by default.
Okay, I think I get it. As long as you're aware of your surroundings, you just switch between your default polarities to get through levels?
Yes.
Gotcha.
There's more. Enemies in regular levels also have polarities. Like those magnetic fields, some enemies push you away or pull you in depending on Phix's polarity. To take out enemies, Phix can shoot particles of polarity, his main offensive move.
Great, got it. Fire particles all the time at everything.
No, fire particles only at enemies with an opposite polarity. If the enemy has the same polarity as you, your polarity particles do absolutely nothing.
This seems overly complex and insanely irritating to play at any given moment.
Yep. Oh, one more thing.
There's more?
When you get Phix to full stride and then try to stop, he'll drift screech forward just a little bit, like he's sliding. This is a seemingly insignificant thing that affects every single movement and attack in the entire game, throwing off the controls of everything you do.
This is supposed to be fun for the whole family?
That's right.
Yeah,
does the whole family happen to have a doctorate in slippy magnet physics?
Well, you better hope you learned everything you needed to from that first training level, because it doesn't seem like we're able to unlock stage 2 of training.
Whatever, who cares? Everyone understands how magnets work. Let's try and take on the story mode again.
Second time.
Okay, honestly, I can imagine them like doing that for like the enemies, but also for platforming? Yeah, boy. Like, considering what we saw in training, that is not going to be easy to do. Honestly, I think I would have just made it, like, for trickier, like, you know, platforming, you know, like, say, across bigger gaps, but, oh boy. Yeah, I don't see this working out well. Okay, so we got the first world, Faraday Field.
I'm around, and it still doesn't feel good.
Like here, we take what we've learned and use the polarity to bounce ourselves onto this little island to collect gems. Grab enough gems, you get an extra life.
The magnetic field we use to bounce over here is blue, so we switch to its opposite polarity, red, to pull ourselves back to the other side.
And he forgot the jump.
Why didn't that work? We used the opposite polarity. We know how magnets magnet.
We may have learned how the game works, but things still don't feel right. Switching polarities feels unintuitive and cumbersome, especially while balancing that same system for enemy attacks. We're pushed and pulled a lot. It leads to confusing and downright blood-boiling moments.
This thing won't let go. And I don't want to switch the polarities because I know I'll be flung into the water somewhere.
I don't know. Neutralize your polarity.
Stop!
Thanks.
This constant push-pull magnetism makes you take plenty of needless damage as you fumble with the controls.
And of course, we died a lot.
Even when you are prepared for magnetic fields and know exactly what you want to do, there's no guarantee for how your movement will actually play out.
Here, we have a couple trees with gems on them. You have to use the same polarity to bounce up to the top, but you can't position and land your character with any semblance of accuracy. Look at this mess.
So, it looks like we're aiming for the wrong
First
tree.
level's not all that big, but it took a heck of a long time to make the most of Phix's weird inaccurate mechanics and get to the portal at the end of the level.
Oh, joy. I get the
Thank
feeling this
God.
is gonna get way worse. Bring on stage 2.
Huh,
Wait,
wait a
hold
sec.
up.
You see that? 0 out of 4, 1% complete. Did we miss something?
No way. We went all over the map. Maybe there just wasn't much to collect?
Possibly. Anyway, level 2 is similar to the first, but take a closer look and hey, cool! Phix can clip right into the mountainside. Gives new meaning to the term rough terrain.
Fortunately, in this level, there's less water and fewer tight corridors than the first.
Unfortunately, this makes some of the game's other issues far more apparent.
Like that?
Like
Ow.
this terrible camera view. The 3/4 top-down position barely glimpses what's in front or even behind Phix. Sometimes it drifts on its own, but don't worry, you can hold down L1 to slowly recenter it, only to discover it gets stuck on level geometry.
Think you can use the in-game map to find your way? Don't bother. It's mostly useless.
Heck, the least it could do is point out enemies, most of which spawn perpetually and hunt you down. Buckets of fun when you're trying to use the game's traversal system to grab items.
And heaven forbid you get in range of large obstacles like trees or boulders. They leave enormous blind spots. Mix this with those respawning foes, the terrible camera, and you got the perfect recipe for a bad time.
This game is incredible. Phix the Adventure seems to have ignored virtually all lessons learned from every previous 3D platforming
much.
game ever made. Games that showcase the playfield for better action. Titles that allowed the player to select multiple camera styles.
And experiences with great feeling character abilities that felt intuitive to use near instantly.
At this point, Phix's magnetic moves and attacks somehow feel worse with every passing level.
Despite this, we did make it through the second stage. And this time, yeah, we made
thank
sure
God.
we picked up just about everything. So
And-
0 out of
0
4? 5%?
5%
What did
now.
we miss? We combed the stage. Something's not right.
well, on to the third level. It has a locked side perspective. Here, finally, the camera is pushed back far enough to properly see the world around our character.
Or
Thank
so
you.
we thought. Sure, we can see incoming enemies, but we're beginning to notice that the game has way bigger issues to contend with.
Wait. What?
We
What's
clipped
even
the
happening
world.
here? Have we ever seen clipping like this before?
Looks like Phix's magnetism is warping the fabric of reality.
We're seeing objects
I
and
guess
characters
Phix is going
clipping all
backwards.
over the place. Look at this. It's weird seeing this little guy poke through geometry. Think you know where he's positioned in game space? Yeah, well, the game disagrees.
My eyes are screaming! And what's worse, this
Man,
locked
you're gonna get
camera in the
something
level
behind-
is destroying me. Phix still has the same 3D movement as before, but now it's hard to judge the level spatially. Some sections seem like they may be accessible to jump to. They're not.
And while we're talking about jumping, it often feels like Phix magically tumbles through platform edges right
that?
before he leaps. I swear, it feels like we have more running room, but into the death pit.
The game is teeming with multiple graphical oddities and world imperfections that make adventuring hurt. But hey, we're done stage 3.
God.
And after so many stages and so much gameplay, do you think the game's magnetic polarity system has finally become easy to control and understand?
No.
Hey, look, now we're at 6%. Why number? No idea. On to stage 4.
Oh boy, this game has boss battles. What vile creature will we face after stumbling around levels themed around green forests and floating islands? An ogre? Some type of tree beast?
Cali Monstro, a giant squid that lives deep in the woods.
How-
I don't think a giant
Why?
squid would be in fresh water.
Well, what
to
kind of
say.
fish is he eating out of the fall?
We start the
Yeah. Oh, what? A squid for our fourth level? Wait, this and what were they smoking? Like, I just had to ask. Like, the hell? Let's just keep going.
battle and run in sheer horror, understandably.
Wait, the trunk of that tree, it says hit.
We hit.
Hit
Hold up. Surely a massive apple didn't just lacerate Phix's skull. Not after the game literally told us to hit the f***ing tree.
Did we do something wrong? Hold on, I think there's a tree on the other side too. Yeah, okay, same prompt. Hit the tree.
Another apple? Are you kidding me?
What do you want from us,
Fine. Never mind the prompts. Attack Kali Monstro head on.
It hardly hurts him. His health bar is barely chipping away.
Screw it! Back to the tree.
Oh, now you hit
Was
him.
that a coin? It's a tree.
No, wash
Fruit,
basin.
I get. But a coin? Unless, good gosh, money really does grow on trees.
Forget the coin, it worked. So why were we freaking Newtoned a minute ago? Don't tell me the boss needs to be specifically positioned to take damage.
There you.
The boss needs to be specifically positioned to take damage.
Why? Why bother telling the player to hit the tree without hinting at when to do so? Did the programmers think the players would have fun dying and replaying until they decipher the untelegraphed environmental damage system?
We sure didn't. When you finally knock some sense into Kali Monstro and deplete his health bar, the squid gets chatty.
What am I doing?
What am I doing? Did you bring me back to normal? I believe the other kings also have the same bad situation. Please save them, Phix.
Pink Abomination, a few words.
So, there are kings that need saving. That's the first we've heard. Good to know.
After this squiddly confrontation, put a bow on it. World 1 of Phix the Adventure is wrapped.
Now you got a picture of the basic template for a world. 3 regular levels, 1 boss fight. But wait, our percentage didn't go up? We've still only completed 6% of the game.
Hey, a game this bad could have a broken scoring system. So let's forget arbitrary percentage numbers as we visit our next world. Fairy Ruins, which consists of a series of ancient tombs. Plenty to see in these run-of-the-mill desert sections like
a sand tornado that seems like it can lift you to higher ground.
But it can't.
Doesn't.
a descending sand border that lets you walk past chunks of gameplay.
More MC Escher-style character clipping that numbs the brain.
And a column structure that is nigh impossible to climb. No, seriously, how does this work?
I don't know.
Oh, and if Phix doesn't magnet accordingly, he gets stuck in vibration limbo here.
I guess this is
This ain't
Phix's
good.
life now.
Oh, and we should mention, this was all in the first stage. Things don't get better. There's not a whole lot of purposely built fun or satisfying challenge here. The game tries to shake things up with symbol matching and polarity-based puzzles, but they're simple, brief vacations from,
That.
regular gameplay.
Pitfall Day.
Eventually, we start poking around the third Fairy Ruin stage, and
Wait, what the heck is that?
looks to be a single bouncy little pixel. Is that another visual glitch?
Okay, yeah, we just snagged it. Weird.
And after
Yes,
more
we did.
headache-inducing platforming and
Like that.
awkward polarity-based combat,
We found another tiny pixel.
and then another?
And then another?
Oh, no, these are not what I think they are. There is no way.
Whoa, what? What's going on?
Hold on, let's just finish this level.
All right, clear.
16%. 16%. Oh, 16%. You madmen. 16%.
What? No, those tiny pixels? Those barely existent,
They were
springly
collectibles?
little...
Collectibles.
But
Collectibles.
how?
Collectibles.
Oh no. Oh no.
Don't think this is so bad? Think we're overinflating how horrible a collectible the size of a freaking speck of dust is?
We were forced to go
Rewind.
back and review all our footage, hoping to spot more. Guess what? In the very first level,
Right
we
there.
walked by the same one. Not once, not twice, but 11 times. That's how hard it
supposed to
is
see that?
to notice these things.
Fun fact, while carefully going over our recording of World 1 Stage 2, we saw that we actually did find a collectible after all. We literally walked into one, and we still had no clue
Didn't
we
notice.
nabbed it.
Every single one of you watching saw these collectibles the whole time and likely had no idea.
Why would anyone make collectibles
Wow.
that small? The game case, front, back, and manual never mention these, ever. Only the tiniest, most ambiguous of hints exists of any sort of special secret to the game at all. This line in the manual's training description.
If you clear one condition during the game, it will what? What condition?
At least now we can assume that collecting these things will do something, somewhere.
So now, not only do we have to contend with a game that controls like a ping pong ball in a wind tunnel, we also have to look for tiny white specklets. Let's go ahead and add this to the list of crap other platformers did better years ago.
We make collectibles easy to see and challenging to collect.
Not easy to collect and impossible to see.
On the bright side, we're on to the World 2 boss now, and boss levels don't seem to have collectibles anywhere in sight.
Time to duke it out with Gorgonia.
That right there, game for the whole family.
Phix, the magnetized bug rodent, is dropped into an arena with varying magnetic polarities. In front of him, a barely clothed Medusa wannabe. She summons bolts of lightning, shakes out unkillable homing snakes, hurls waves of energy, and slaps anything in her vicinity.
How do you think this went?
Not good. Our brains could not process this boss fight.
To hurt Gorgonia, just like the last boss battle, you need to use the environment to attack. See those moving torches? When successfully destroyed, they spew flames up into Gorgonia's face.
Sound easy? It's not. We have to do all this while being magnetically tossed around and targeted by all other attacks.
If those elements weren't bad enough, I think it's time we disclose 2 fun notes about combat and Phix the Adventure.
1. Phix's particles of polarity attack is barely useful. It doesn't travel far, and it's hard to aim.
2. The hitboxes on all objects and enemies are tiny and require absolute precision.
So say you have, I don't know, an encounter with a mostly naked snake woman who's constantly throwing the kitchen sink at you, and you're required to hit moving torches 6 times each while magnets pull you around and freaking unkillable snakes chase you.
And not to mention
it gets challenging.
But eventually, after torching our way through this ludicrous boss fight, big ol' serpent head wants to have a chat.
Thank you for saving me. Please don't get me wrong. Normally, I am a cute and sweet girl.
I'm not saying anything.
I believe that the countries ahead are also in big trouble. Phix, please save them.
Wait, do the kings need to be rescued? The countries both?
I thought Phix was just going on a simple journey to the temple of the Anus Cleric.
Maybe it's all those. On to the next world, which reads like an adult film star alias.
Neo Volcano.
Of course there's a lava world. It's a platformer. There's always gotta be one. These next levels are jam-packed with magma, heat geysers, and whatever the hell this thing is. Oh, and let's not forget, more super hidden tiny dots.
As we continue, they're proving to be a real pain to find.
Speaking of pain, any contact with the many rivers of lava in this world is instant death, which is kind of expected. But what isn't expected is that when Phix is hopping for safety on the few rock chunks dotting these death rivers, you lose a key element you need for proper platforming in any 3D platforming title.
Phix's Shadow. Usually sports a shadow through most gameplay, but bafflingly, when you're jumping across instant-death areas, no shadow.
Other platformers released way before Phix use shadows to help you see where you're about to land when moving and jumping around in a 3D space.
But not here. Not when it's needed. And trust us, you'll miss it desperately when it's gone. That unforgiving surface edge issue we've had throughout this game? Yeah, that means you need to hop dead center on all small surfaces to have any hope of landing correctly.
Good luck! Phix's shadow disappears so much, you'll be burning away your lives.
And to make it harder, how about layering on more complicated magnet crap as well?
Like that?
Doesn't this look fun?
You'll be shoved and tugged by fields and assaulted by enemies, all while frantically swapping polarities. Inevitably, you'll choke down huge gulps of liquid incineration.
Sometimes you don't even have a half second to switch polarities because the camera angle refuses to show you what's about to push you into oblivion.
The end cap to these 3 levels of deadly dips and utter confusion?
The World 3 boss stage, King of Neo Volcano. Mr. Powder.
Mr. Powder isn't challenging. The battle takes place in a circular arena where you have to avoid fire-based attacks while hitting 4 water spouts. Tag them 6 times, and Mr. Powder gets a life-walloping shower. It's a straightforward boss fight, but that's not why it's so bad.
Okay, that was
Loss
easy.
of Magnetostone caused us such turmoil. But anyway, please accept my apology. The cleric told me about you. Please bring the Magnetostone to the temple as soon as possible.
Wait, you knew
the
about this?
cleric told you about Phix? Why the hell did you attack him? You knew he wasn't an enemy. You knew he's trying to return an important magical MacGuffin for your benefit, yet you still tried to kill him? You're a moron.
After we dust...
Yeah, I don't even know if the loss of the Magnestone's making them lose their senses, but considering, like Mr. Powder said, he was expecting him to come, or at least knew about Phix, it was like, yeah, oh, hey, no problem, you can go. I mean, you could have just given a good reason, right? Or at least a better reason for the fight. Okay, let's just keep going. What else we got?
Mr. Powder, we traveled to World 4, which is called Techno City Louderburg.
Louderburg just rolls off the tongue. Is there something going on with the names of these worlds?
Yeah, actually. Every world in this game is a nod to the study of magnetism, from important concepts to prominent contributing figures. Techno City Louderburg is named after Paul C. Louderburg, the Nobel Prize awarded chemist who helped develop MRI technology.
Phix the Adventurer embraces a man who saved countless lives, siphons our will to live.
World 4 is filled with tons of mechanical contraptions, the first level of which is designed so poorly it should be rusting in a dumpster behind a middle school science fair.
In this stage, you have to press 4 large buttons in order to open a door to an exit. The level itself, simple layout, a large circle. So how do they mess this up?
Elevators! To reach the elevators, you not only have to deal with the usual obstacles and enemies, but new ones too. Here, we'll introduce you.
Oh, didn't catch him? Let's have one more look. Stop.
Yeah.
There he is. This little itchy trigger-fingered scientist has joined the fight. He's got incredible aim, even at great distances.
But that's not all. The level's also decked out with several enormous spinning energy blades. Loads of fun, especially when magnetic fields feed you right into them.
And let's say you slip past all these hindrances and make your way to an elevator. Well, you can't just hop on like a regular old chump. You gotta use polarity powers. Hold on, let's try that again.
And
Hold
again.
on. One more time. Ha!
There you go.
Nailed it.
Just don't fall off.
How did Phix slipped through a non-existent gap between the platform and the wall? What kind of wacko reality is this?
Eventually, we managed to rotate through the room, ride all 4 elevators, and hit every button. But nothing seems to be happening? Why is nothing happening?
Turns out we needed to do all this in a specific order. There are Roman numerals at the bottom of each elevator, so we get to do it all over again. This time, sequentially. Hooray! I never want to see this piece of crap level ever again.
Oh, looks like we missed a collectible. World 4's other regular levels are a bit more traditional, but they still have a few notable quirks.
Like leaky steam pipes that make you wait 4 seconds every few steps.
And seemingly impossible magnetized jumps.
And flaming danger pits that kill you even if you don't make contact with the fire.
And vertical moving platforms that you slip right on through.
And enemies that spawn out of range that immediately put a bullet in your tummy.
And this part.
Jesus.
And this part again.
And this part again.
And this part again.
And this part again.
And again.
And this part.
And again.
This part.
And again.
This part. This part. This part. This part. This part. This part.
Please. Thank you. We
made
it.
We're free! Level 4's end boss is Roland Rocco, an Autobots reject that fires missiles and, surprise, surprise, rolls around.
Rocco's easier to chip damage off of than any other boss we've faced so far, but if you want, you can use your surroundings to slice off larger chunks of his health. Just attack 2 weird robotic pillars in the corners and repeat until his health bar melts away.
It feels like the boss fights in Phix are getting progressively easier to get through, or maybe less thought was put into them being challenging.
Less thought.
It's probably that one.
Yeah.
Zap, beep, grrr. Testing. 1, 2. Well, what am I doing?
Just rocking like a baby. Okay,
The fifth and final world of the game is Savart Castle, and there's no better way to describe this place than as a greatest hits of Phix's previous busted gameplay problems.
Oh, we got plenty of brain-ringing visual oddities here. You know, the kind you love to see when you're trying to navigate 3D space. Watch long enough and it'll hurt your eyesight worse than a magic eye photo.
There's also plenty of polarity-focused jumps, adjusted for maximum frustration. Here, if you're not hampered by enemies, or just stumbling through the ground, successfully juggling through your polarities is a trial all on its own.
In another section, they mix magnetic platforming with rooftops so dark, you can barely make out that they're all completely riddled with death holes.
Like that?
We can barely see what we're standing on. And see this? We're being bombarded with off-screen projectiles. Making any kind of progress here is hit or miss. If you happen to have terrible luck and activate the wrong polarity at the wrong time, bam!
Like that?
Phix is hurled into the abyss.
Eventually, we made our way into the castle, the last regular level of the game.
Thankfully, no rooftops here. Just loads of super fast enemies, fire carousels, and... Oh, come on! Man, this room is giving me a headache. Why are the spikes moving? What possible benefit do they have? They're a pit full of spikes. Falling into the pit will allow gravity to do what a pit of spikes is supposed to do.
Right? So let's just avoid them carefully.
What was that?
Okay, let me just pull up some of the gameplay. Hair. Yeah, they throw their hair.
Is hair even
son
remotely
of a
capable
bitch.
or heavy enough to contribute to any physical damage at all?
Let me guess,
It's
no.
hair.
Hair-raising antics or not, you'll notice the same rooms popping up frequently. Why? Well, because it's a maze, of course. A maze!
Prepare to get lost,
not
looping
amazing.
around, trying to remember where you came from and where you're going. Oh, and don't forget to look everywhere for those teensy-weensy collectibles, because trust us, you don't want to revisit this place again.
Oh, stage 4, last boss. What do we have?
Looks like we're fighting Senor Shogun. I think they meant Senor Shogun, but spelled Senor wrong.
This battle actually looks great. It's raining, arrows crash down, lightning bolts flicker, a giant samurai marches while swinging a giant weapon. Very intimidating.
And then you've got Phix, the waddling pink turd that looks like he drinks from a sippy cup. There are huge cannons at each corner of the battlefield here, and they're all prompting us to hit, which we would love to do if Phix's attacks ever decided to actually connect.
Not a lot of fun missing a cannon you're obviously hitting. I mean, our attack is literally flipping right through the thing.
Gotta hit these cannons ever so precisely to activate them. 6 hits and a shot blasts out onto our foe, slicing away his health.
Without very much effort, which is surprising for a final boss, we finish him off.
You must be Mr. Phix. I apologize for my bad manner.
Oh, no.
How can I make it up to you?
Just don't
Had me there for a
stab
second.
The
yourself,
cleric
okay? What's
is
the point?
waiting for you. Please hurry, Mr. Phix.
Oh, good. Looks like he was also aware of Phix and his mission. Is every single entity in this game just arbitrarily trying to kill Phix because he's trying to help them?
Maybe we'll understand more with this final cutscene. Phix makes it to the temple of the Brown Eye Maw. Here, we're finally graced with Phix's first full sentence in the entire game.
Can you take it out?
Well said.
Really? Bravo. The cleric shakes his moneymaker, and like magic, a Magnia stone is released.
But one more favor is asked of Phix. They want to launch him out of a catapult.
Oh, sure. Let's toss the trash rat right into the sun. Shane approves.
Phix places the Magnia Stone back on its pedestal, ending chaos in the world of Magnetica. With his mission finally over, our hero looks out over the horizon and asks one final lingering question. How am I going to get
How am
down
I
from
gonna
here?
get down from here? And we're done.
Good. Clean wrap up. Phix either dies of starvation in the clouds or he's hosed off a sidewalk somewhere. The end.
Yes. Except no.
What? Oh, come on!
Aha!
Oh,
Have
yeah,
you
the
already
whole
forgotten the
collectibles.
collectibles?
Silly me. Funny how easy it is to forget something you can barely see.
Why do you think we started grabbing them? The instructions specifically told us.
Ambiguously.
The instructions ambiguously told us if we clear one condition during the game, it will.
It will.
It will what? Unlock a sound test? A cutscene theater? Something we won't forget in an hour?
Nobody knows. There was no information about this online anywhere. It's as if nobody had done it before. Like somehow this incredibly unknown game had insanely hard to see collectibles that were never mentioned or seen by anyone. So we're doing it. We're gonna find out what happens. We're gonna answer the question once and for all.
We managed to cultivate well over half the little white freckles farting around the game on our first playthrough. We're playing levels, looking for these things. Oh man, it was slow going, but we found them, each and every one.
And it revealed a training mode plus? Remember how there was only one training level and the rest were locked? Well, now there's a second level and a third and a fourth.
Training? Little late for that, don't you think? Phix is already spotting the thickest canopy to absorb his impact.
The game is completed. There is nothing left to train us on. We already did every possible thing you could do in the game. What do these stages even look like?
Well, Extra Stage 1 looks really different. Sparse and Lego bricky.
Still has that classic Phix platforming. The terrible kind.
Wait, why does it seem dialed up for maximum frustration?
We're not learning anything. We're not getting helpful prompts. This isn't a training mode plus at all. Do you know what this really is? It's some sort of gameplay challenge mode.
Seriously?
How could they? Oh no, look! It's the same in the second bonus stage. And the third? The broken platforming, the awkward, horribly inaccurate magnet abilities. These levels are made to test players' Phix gaming prowess?
But how can you beat a challenge mode with gameplay so inherently busted?
Well, folks, scooch in close, and we'll tell you how. By playing and losing.
And replaying and re-losing until your dried out thumbs and eyeballs leak.
By pressing the continue button so many times, your PlayStation will start sweating.
And if you're smart, you'll quit and save yourself the time trying to control an uncontrollable game. But if you're us,
you'll come to accept the fact that this game probably didn't teach you how to play it correctly, or heck, maybe there's no right way to play it at all.
Desperately attempting to prevent yourself from falling off edges that don't have proper boundaries with a character who slips around and gets pushed and pulled so fast that you won't be able to build a logical, sensical gameplay strategy.
There's only one way to beat this: brute force. We died 317 times, finishing 3 extra stages in Phix. There was no pride, no sense of accomplishment at the finish line, no reward, no extra unlocks. They didn't expect anyone to get this far. There's no way.
And you know what? Thinking back on this game's soul-shattering mechanics, they wouldn't sting so bad if another character platformer wasn't released in the exact same year with very similar gameplay ideas.
That's right, folks! This is Super Magnetic Neo. It came to the Dreamcast the exact same year as Phix's Japanese release. It's another magnetism-based game.
It makes better use of polarity switching powers, has better platforming, and features, get this, collectibles you can see. Is Super Magnetic Neo a perfect game? Nah, it can be frustrating in its own right, but does it run laps around this pink nightmare? Better believe it.
Phix the Adventure is a game fraught with issues. Terrible controls, frustrating exploration, glitchy levels, annoying enemies, flea-like collectibles, and absolutely repulsive magnet mechanics. It's a platformer that doesn't want you to have a good time. But more than that, it's just bad.
Yeesh, no wonder this thing got forgotten and doesn't even have a wiki page. Like, no one wanted to play this game, like, ever. Like, sheesh, at least some of the older games had a wiki page. This, none. I checked both translations of the game. Nothing. Yeesh, you know it's bad when that happens. Sheesh. Well, anyway, we can probably put that back in the forgotten pile. So be sure to like, subscribe for more. Hope you enjoy. I'll see you around. Good night.